Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Beautiful day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Healing. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day.
What a way to start our Sunday. Thank you so much. Should we give them some more love and thanks? It's good when the first thing you want to do at church is dance. Yeah. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Santa Rosa, and happy Earth Day weekend. Yes. I'm Nancy Reynolds. I'm a member of the center, also a volunteer and former trustee, and this is my favorite place to be on Sunday morning, so I'm so happy to be here with all of you. If you are new or joining us for the first time, please know that your children are welcome here as well. During our 11 a.m. service, we have childcare for the infants and toddlers. We also have very fun, spirit-filled programming for those children who are elementary age and middle school age. And I want to be sure to mention that our teen program is almost back. That's coming really soon, so stay tuned for that. Also, I want to make sure you know that your children and grandchildren are welcome to join you here in the sanctuary. There is also a family room in the back of the room. They're actually waving to us right now. Hi. And there is a table out in the social hall with some fun coloring activities, especially for those children who aren't quite ready to join the formal programming yet. Parents, if you are wanting to get involved and get your children involved in our youth program, I want to make sure that you know to look for Jennifer Caldwell in the center social hall after the service. She can get you plugged into everything. I just saw her walking in. Good morning, Jennifer. Yay, there she is. Good. And also, if you don't catch her today, you can get a hold of her through email at youth@cslsr.org. Now, before I go any further, I want to say hello and welcome and thank you to our online viewers. Whether you are watching the live stream or you're watching online after the fact, hello, thank you so much for joining us. Now, if you would, those of you watching online, find the share button And if you would press that share button, help us get the word out and spread the Science of Mind teaching far and wide, we would really appreciate that. Thank you. If you are new here, we do recognize that it can sometimes be a little challenging to get connected and find your way to a place when you're new. I remember when I first came to the center, it took me a little bit of time to find my way to all the good stuff, but I did. So I want to shorten your path, if I may. We have an information table out in the social hall. You can stop by there for information. You can also go to our website, cslsr.org. There you'll find a monthly digest with everything that's happening at the center. It's called the Information Pages. And if you just look for the photo of the typewriter on the homepage of the website, you'll get connected to everything going on. Now also, for those of you who are new, if you'd like to find out more about our teaching, at the information table in the social hall, you'll find a pamphlet called What We Believe. And those of you online, you can also email Linda Han, and she'll get you set up with a copy of that. At the Center for Spiritual Living, Santa Rosa, we are motivated by a vision of a healthy, loving world. It's called the Global Vision, and it calls us to imagine a world that works for everyone. I'd like to share with you a few lines from the Global Vision. We envision a world where personal responsibility joins with social conscience in every area of the political, corporate, academic, and social sectors, providing sustainable structures to further the emerging global consciousness. We follow this vision through 5 core spiritual practices of our teaching. Would you please read those with me? Spiritual study, affirmative prayer, meditation, selfless service, and spiritual circulation. Thank you. I trust that somewhere between the music, the meditation, the prayer, the practices, and the message from Dr. Edward is exactly what you are seeking for the next step of your spiritual journey. Again, welcome. Now, please enjoy this next piece of music that will lead us into a time of silent contemplation and our prayer.
Everywhere I am is holy ground, and I live in love. Everywhere I am is holy ground, for the power and the presence of pure spirit makes my path gentle and easy. Everywhere I am is holy ground, and I stand in peace. Everywhere I am is holy ground of pure spirit makes my path gentle and easy. Gentle, easy. Everywhere I am is holy ground, and I dance in joy. Everywhere I am is holy ground, for the power and the presence path, gentle and easy. Gentle, easy. Everywhere I am is holy ground, and I dance in joy. Everywhere I am is holy ground, for the power and the presence makes my path gentle and easy. Gentle, easy. Everywhere I am is holy ground, and I dance in joy. Everywhere I am is holy ground, for the power and the presence makes my path gentle and easy.
gentle, easy, gentle, easy, gentle, easy.
There is only one divine essence, flowing freely, flowing infinitely throughout this universe and beyond. It is the one source, the one power, the one creator, the ground of all being from which all is rooted. It is love infusing every idea, every sequence, every action, guided by that divinity. It is that spacious wholeness that simply holds and enfolds and encompasses. It is a pattern of whole and completeness, always available, always flowing, and yet changing in the appropriateness of each moment. As I am united with that essence that is life, each of us in this sanctuary and beyond hold that divinity within us as the divine has given us, has graced it to us. Each of us is what it is. It is beauty, it is balance, it is harmony, it is peace, it is love. I accept for this service this morning the coming together of community. Grateful to be together, grateful to be here, sharing the love, the reciprocity of giving and taking, of just being together with the truth that we are, the love that we are, the oneness that we are. I give great thanks for this time, and I simply let this word go into the law, which always acts on each of our behalfs. And together we say, and so it is. Good morning. I'm Peggy Weber, a practitioner here at the center. Please join me with the affirmation that I think is behind me. It is in front of me. I allow myself to see and be seen, and so it is.
So there's a part in this song for you, and Aster's going to sing it for you once, and then we'll have you sing it back to learn it. 2, 3, 4.
Away, 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 away.
Try that with us. Ready?
Away, 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 away.
Good. When we do that, sing. 2, 3. Away, 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 away. We are one in the Spirit. We are one in the world. We are one in the Spirit.
Everybody, every soul, everywhere we turn.
Well, life is gonna change when inside we change and take that journey to the heart. You are my brother, you are my sister, and none of us can live apart. We are one in the Spirit. We are one in the world. We are one in the Spirit.
Everybody, every soul, everywhere we turn. Involve yourself in, it's time to begin. For the healing of this earth. Many small steps here, millions of feet now, can carry everybody to rebirth. Oh, we are one in the Spirit. We are one in the world. We are one in the Spirit. Everybody, every soul, everywhere we turn.
Away, 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 away.
So as you take yourself, give back to someone else. All the nations here belong. Tear down illusions, shore up with truth, till you and I, we sing a worldwide song.
We are one in the Spirit. We are one in the world. We are one in the Spirit.
Every woman, every man, every boy and girl.
We are one in the Spirit. We are one in the world. We are one in the Spirit.
Everybody, every soul, everywhere we turn.
Away, 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 away.
Thank you so much. How wonderful is that? Good morning. Goodness. Our theme for April, if you've been attending, you probably know, is vulnerability. And so here's what I'm going to talk about today. First of all, vulnerability can be defined as accepting all the parts of me that are uncomfortable, distressed, messy. Second, there is a self within me, just like there is a self within you, that already accepts me as it accepts you, no matter what is going on in my life at any particular time, no matter how I'm showing up. Third, you and I, we can learn to see ourselves in this world in the same way that that self already sees us, with acceptance and kind-heartedness and compassion. And finally, number 4, there's a practice we can use called loving kindness meditation that helps us to consciously reconnect with that self within as a source for courage and strength. So let's get started. The definition I learned for vulnerability in school made me completely disinterested in ever being vulnerable. Because I learned that vulnerable means to make myself open to harm, open to attack. Who wants that? I don't think it was a good thing at all. But there is another way to understand vulnerability. It can mean being willing to accept those parts of me that are messy, uncomfortable, those parts of me that are having a rough time. And instead of trying to get rid of them or shut them down or cover them over with positive thinking, to be compassionately aware of them as part of me. I mean, the reality is there are experiences in life, there are emotions in life that don't feel that good, but are still part of life. They're still an important part of being. You know, like breaking up, or loss, or unwanted change, or dreams that don't work out like you thought they might. And so vulnerability to me is accepting all the difficult and even painful feelings and experiences that come up in me while I'm going through those kinds of experiences or ones similar to them. You know, I might be sad through it. Accept it. I might be afraid through it. Accept it. I might be whatever it is. Accept it. And accept it not to get stuck in it, but to witness what is going on tenderly as a way of experiencing wholeness. Vulnerability to me is about being as authentically myself as I can with whatever life is presenting at any given moment. Now, our teaching, The Science of Mind, speaks of a self in me. Our founder, Dr. Ernest Holm, called it the friend within. There is a self within me, just like there is a self within you that sees beyond what I'm going through. I invite you to think of that self or that friend as the place or the seat of compassion within you. It's the part that is clear, calm, curious, connected, creative. And you and I can learn to sense that self at any time. Just like right now. There is a seat of compassion in you and me. It's the part in you and me that is aware of wholeness. Not just my wholeness, wholeness. No matter what is going on, even when I'm experiencing doubt or fear or shame, it within me doesn't change its opinion about me or about you. Even when things get messy, when I get messy, it within remains constant. And you and I, we can practice seeing ourselves in the same way that self within already sees us. And here's how I do it. You may have your own way. The first step is to notice or to observe my emotions as they're happening. For example, I might notice I'm feeling angry, or I feel sad, or I feel disconnected, without analyzing it, where did it come from, without doing anything about it, just notice it. It's like looking from the inside to the outside, in a way. I was remembering a trip to Las Vegas. I went on the Ferris wheel there. I think that's called the High Roller. And it turns out it's the second tallest observation wheel in the world. And I really loved the experience because although I was in this busy, bright, loud city, I was in this bubble. I was in this container up in the sky. I was still part of the city, but not consumed by it. I was seeing it from this place, elevated. And I think of that when I'm trying to notice my difficult feelings. I try to observe them from this place within of compassion. And then the next step is to validate my emotions. And this is how I do it. You might have your own way. I talk to myself. I say gently to myself, just in the way that I imagine the friend within, the self within, would speak to me. I say to myself, Edward, it's okay to feel whatever you're feeling. It's all right. Whatever you're going through, I'm here, and I will be. And this is tremendously calming for me, regulating, because to me it means that there will be no attempt to fix it, to adjust it, to improve it. And that creates such a space for wholeness to emerge all by itself. There is a loving kindness meditation practice. It's called metta meditation. For me, it's a great way to connect with this observing self within me. And here's an adaptation of how it works. And some people like to do it with their eyes closed, and some people keep their eyes open. Just use your imagination in a way that works for you to think of someone in your life who loves you very, very much. They might be here with you today, or they might be in another city, or they may have passed on to another expression. And imagine that you're sitting with them as if having coffee. And while you are talking to each other, there is a message from your heart, from the self within, that's radiating as if it's saying from your heart to theirs, may you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease. May you be happy. And then breathe that in. And imagine now you're sitting in front of a mirror, a spiritual type mirror, because the reflection you see in the mirror is not how you typically see yourself. It's how the self within sees you. And as you sit and look in the mirror, you can sense this message from the self within to you, saying, may you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease. May you be happy. Now, the effects of this meditation, they are cumulative to me. So if you don't immediately feel compassion to your whole self and all the parts in you, you might give it a chance, give it another time, because my experience is that every time I practice, it goes deeper and deeper. And I also want to say that even when I practice this meditation and I feel deeply connected to my wisdom self within, it doesn't always mean things go smoothly. Love, it turns out, is messy. Compassion is complicated. Kindness can still be a challenge because all of them bring me to this point of vulnerability where there is an opportunity to accept my complicated self. A story I like to tell about this, well, I invite you to imagine the scene. Imagine that there is a music teacher who has a very enthusiastic student who isn't that good at music. And isn't showing the kind of progress that we would hope for. And the time comes where the student wants to advance further but needs a better instrument and more expensive music tuition. The parents need to make an investment in the education. What should the teacher do? What's the kindest, most ethical thing to do? To say nothing and carry on? Or to tell the truth? See, it's not a hypothetical situation. It happened to me when I was a music teacher. I had a student who I had to find a way to share the news with him. Because his idea of what he could do in the music world, well, it wasn't matching my assessment as a professional of where this was going. Now, if he simply just wanted to be an amateur musician and have a good hobby, I could get behind that. That's one thing. But he wasn't going to be the kind of stage performer, according to me in my assessment, that he thought he was going to be. Now, I didn't want to hurt his feelings. That felt uncomfortable, vulnerable. I remember thinking to myself, you know what? It would be just easy to say nothing. I could do that. But that didn't feel right or complete. The whole situation was unsettling to me, and I could feel the vulnerability rising up because I couldn't see an easy way out. A part of me was so distressed because I had to admit something I was uncomfortable admitting. I don't really know his future. I don't know what the right choice is for him, or if he would make a miraculous sudden explosion of musical talent. I don't know. And then there's another part of me that just simply wants to please everybody. Can we all be happy? And there's another part of me that just hates causing a disturbance, let alone witnessing disappointment in other people, especially when I think I had part of delivering the disappointing news. Do you know what I mean? And so I noticed all of this going on, and I paused and breathed and tried to sense the friend within, the self within. And I remember asking myself, how does this presence within see me right now? How does the self within see this student right now? How does the self within see this situation? How does this place of calm, clear compassion see? And the practice helped me. It helped me to have a conversation with the student that was authentic, difficult, kind-hearted, unskilled, messy, honest, and real. And we walked through it together. See, it wasn't easy, but it was real. So to me, vulnerability is about noticing what's going on inside, and then being with it, being available to it, and accepting I may get hurt. I may hurt someone. I may get embarrassed, or I may embarrass someone. I could get rejected. And you see, I have in the past told myself that if I can just avoid all of those feelings, say an affirmation, I'll be safe, and the world will cooperate with my plan. But it turns out that is completely inaccurate. By avoiding some of the important conversations and the difficult feelings, I have caused more harm than help. I can think of examples. For example, once I avoided giving accurate feedback to an employee for all the reasons I've listed already. And it ended up that I was kind of leading the employee on by not telling them the truth. And to them, it seemed that I was acting one way, but thinking and feeling in another. And they were right. So instead of coming across as kind and professional, eventually they thought of me as insincere and harmful. So I learned a lesson there. Vulnerability to me is about facing the nervousness that comes up when I know I must say something and I just don't want to. You know, it's like when you, me, you're the only one in the family that's not going to go along with something. The only one in your group of friends. Can't go along with something because it's just not right with your heart. And you got to find a way to address it, but every time you think about it, it all comes up. How can I get out of this? Perhaps it would be better if I just said nothing. Ooh. And so I find myself applying this practice more and more. If I notice that tendency to want to flee, or if I notice I'm feeling distressed, or whatever it is I notice, I try to pause. That's the trick. Pause. And breathe. And try to sense the friend within. And to talk to myself as if that presence is speaking to me from within, saying, may you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease. May you be happy. And this is the way that more and more I'm reconnecting with my wisdom center. Now, some people call it the self of the divine. In our Science of Mind teaching, we call it the thing itself, or the creative genius within. Emerson called it the oversoul. Whatever it is that you call it and sense it, reconnecting with it is a beautiful practice. Well, for me, it has helped me to remember its nature within me, and remembering that it is within me, constant, compassionate prayer. It helps me to say and do the difficult and uncomfortable things that are part of life. So the quest in life is not for easy, but for authentic. Here's another story about being true to your authentic self and how it can make things vulnerable by appearing not to work out the way it should. The author of the blog Tiny Buddha, her name is Linnea Barn, she had a corporate job, but she ran into a lot of trouble with it because in that job, according to her values, she treated people ethically and kindly. Her supervisor at the time did not approve of that, because for him, he interpreted kindness as weakness. So he fired her, even though she was earning very, very strongly for the corporation. So her kindness left her vulnerable to being treated unfairly and unjustly. Now, I don't know about you, but I could see myself building a case against ever being kind again. But not her. It didn't stop her from following her heart because she knew she had to be kind. She had to be helpful. So she went on and volunteered to help refugees in Asia by teaching them how to develop small businesses to become economically self-sufficient because, and in her words, she said, every act of kindness changes the world, and it's what makes my life significant. She had to be true to her heart, even though it introduced this vulnerability of being susceptible to injustice. Now, I like this story because it makes me nervous. And also courageous because in it is a lesson for me. There is a reminder in it for me that it is okay to feel the awkward messiness of not knowing, of uncertainty, of fear, of sadness, and to live by my spiritual values anyway, even if I'm unskilled. And it also reminds me to keep on training my mind to turn to the self within, to feel its presence, and to let it guide me. Now, at the start of this message, I talked about definitions of vulnerability. So as I learn about what vulnerability is and isn't, I've asked colleagues and I've read more about it. I asked one colleague what vulnerability means to him. Here's what he said. Some people think vulnerability is just about being weak or narcissistic without boundaries, letting it all hang out, wearing your emotions on your shirt sleeves. Not true. Vulnerability is about courage, authenticity, and faith. Being vulnerable is being real and showing up for life. And I love that he said that because it reminded me of something that Brené Brown wrote in the recommended book for this month on Daring Greatly on page 45. Here's what she wrote. Vulnerability is based on mutuality and requires boundaries and trust. There's an aspect of vulnerability I hadn't thought about. It's not oversharing. It's not purging. It's not indiscriminate disclosure. And it's not celebrity-style social media information dumps. Wow. Vulnerability is about sharing our feelings and our experiences, listen to this, with people who have earned the right to hear them. Being vulnerable and open is mutual and an integral part of the trust-building process. And so those are beautiful ideas to chew on, and we're going to pick them up on Wednesday evening at the Wednesday evening in-person service at 7 p.m. We're going to ask the question, what does it mean to wear my heart on my sleeve, and is it a good plan? When is it a good idea and when is it not a good idea to disclose what's going on? And how do we and how do other people earn each other's right to vulnerable disclosures? And finally, what can I do when someone can't handle my vulnerability? We're going to talk about that on Wednesday. I don't even know if we'll be able to get through all 4 of the questions because there's so much there, but it's my invitation to you to come and join Wednesday evening at 7 p.m. So here's what I think I covered today. Vulnerability can be defined as accepting all of the parts of myself, no matter how they are showing up. Secondly, there is a self within me as there is within you, that no matter how I am experiencing life, it sees through the experience to the truth of my being. Thirdly, we can practice, we can learn seeing ourselves and the world around us in the same way that this self within already sees us through its calm, connected, kind-hearted acceptance. And finally, there is a practice that anybody can do. It's called loving kindness meditation that we can use to consciously reconnect ourselves to that self within so that it may be a source of courage and strength for us. So I invite you to take a breath in and to exhale. You're letting your eyes close if that feels comfortable, so that we may join in prayer, a spiritual mind treatment. There is one self, the oversoul, the universal mind that is in and through all creation, both within and also all around. It is eternal, permanent, and everywhere present. I identify myself with this one and recognize its presence within me as I recognize its presence within all people. And today, I recognize this self, this heart of creation within the earth that we are celebrating today, and nature, and all the company of beings. From this recognition of unity and shared spiritual reality, I speak from my heart a blessing for all beings. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease. And may you be happy. I acknowledge that the self of the universe within me is the same self that is within all people, and so I sense it. And through the sensing of it, I let myself today experience its influence as I step into willingness to express and be one with all that is. Deep gratitude rises up in me, and I release this, my word of prayer, into what we call the law, the spiritual law that makes our prayers into reality. And so it is. Invite you to take another breath in with me and to sigh as we make the transition to the part of our service where we engage in the law of circulation. That's one of the practices you heard mentioned this morning. It includes giving and receiving and asking and forgiving and acknowledging and all the different ways that we can stay in the flow of life. We mention that here because in this part of our service, we practice the giving aspect where we support our center. We don't have a fee to attend. We don't charge admission or membership fees. We support our center through the generosity of our heart. We are particularly grateful to those people who give on an ongoing, regular basis because that allows us to plan and function and keep the doors open. I love that so many people are enjoying the text-to-give version that is available, that is growing in popularity. It's very easy to use, and there's a card outside with the number on. And there are other ways on our website where you can set up an automatic way to support your center. Including, we call it auto giving, where you can go speak to somebody at the front desk and you can set it up with your own bank. They'll help you so that a weekly or monthly contribution can come to your center. What I love about that is it becomes an anchor in my life. I have that set up every week. There is a deposit from my bank account to the center, and it helps me feel a deep connection to the center. It's one of the most important practices I have. I was taught to give to the source of your spiritual inspiration. And that makes all kinds of sense to me, because I'm plenty willing to pay for cell phone service. I'm plenty willing to shell out hundreds of dollars for internet service, and let alone for coffee and all sorts of things. And if I measure all of these wonderful things in my life next to the spiritual value that I get from being a part of this community within you, this experience outweighs that experience. There's no doubt in my mind. So I've set it up. I give. Well, this is just my preference. It's not a teaching at the center, but I give 10% of my revenue to the source of my spiritual inspiration. Right here. This is where it is. You know, when I'm not here, I tune in. I miss it. I was telling somebody I was on a subway train in Spain, and I realized that it was 8 o'clock in Santa Rosa. And I didn't have my earphones, but I thought I could silently tune in and watch anyway. And I did by somehow, the sound went on and the music came pouring out of the phone, and I got shushed by all the people on the train. But I just remember that feeling of being connected to the center and how important it is to me. Now, so for those of you who feel the same connection, I acknowledge that it's real. It's beautiful, and I thank you for supporting us and helping it stay present, not just for us and our benefit now, but for future generations. So every time you contribute something to the center, this is what I think about it. I'm planting seeds for trees that will grow, the shade under which I will not sit. So if you'll please take your gift in your hand, however you contribute, I ask the ushers to stand. And won't you place your hand on your chest as a symbol of your heart connection to the center and say after me, I bless this gift. I send it forth to heal and prosper. It does amazing work in the world. And so it is. Ushers, please receive the gift.
We've got some incredible talent here, don't we? Shall we thank them again? I'm just jealous because I can't do any of that. Yeah, but it's great to be an audience member here, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, I am here to tell you what's going on at the center. I want to start with something very important. If you received this invitation postcard in the mail, let's make sure everyone can see it, and our online viewers, we are waiting for your RSVP. It was mailed to everyone who completed a giving intention card. And it's an invitation to your thank you party. You don't want to miss that. You can RSVP online using the link on the card, or if you, like me, misplaced your card, you can visit the information table today, and they will get you signed up for the party. Yeah. As I mentioned earlier, it is Earth Day weekend, and to highlight this, we are hosting one of our nonprofit partners, the Climate Center, as they share a presentation about climate change. The Climate Center is a nonprofit organization that is actively working to reduce climate pollution in California and the world. Their presentation includes information on how to better understand the climate crisis, its impacts on humans and our environment, and what people can do to help. This presentation is free to attend. It is today at 1 o'clock, and it's in Wagoner Hall. So in case you don't know, you exit and go to the other side of the wall behind me, that room there. So 1 o'clock, that means our online viewers have time to get here too. I hope we'll see you there. We have been so thrilled in the interest for our Wednesday evening services. And if you've been looking for a midweek uplift of spiritual joy, join Dr. Edward this week. As he said, he'll be diving deeper into the vulnerability conversation in a safe environment in our social hall. There will be tea and goodies and freshly baked bread, as well as musical meditation, and of course the opportunity to come together as a community. We have a number of classes starting the first week in May with Dr. Edward and Reverend Russ teaching the 5 pillars of spiritual life in our hybrid format. That means you can either come attend in person at the center or you can join on Zoom. Practitioner Elias Owens is teaching the art and science of spiritual mind treatment. You'll hear from Elias in just a second. He's going to come up and tell you all about that class. And both of these amazing classes you can sign up for on the homepage of our website. Look for the photo of the pillars and the drop of water. And stay tuned to our new education blog, which you can find at cslsr.org/edu. There you'll find more about our upcoming classes, as well as articles geared towards spiritual study and how you can embrace it in your life, and that's coming soon. Finally, our new member class is less than a month away. That's Sunday, May 21st, 1 p.m. And for the first time ever, we're offering this free class in our hybrid format. That means you can attend in person at the center, or you can attend on Zoom, just like you can for many of our classes. So, however you'd like to do it, if you would like to become a member at the center, which I highly recommend, we've got you covered. Be sure to register ahead of time so they know that you're coming, and you can do that on the website. Look for the photo of the dandelion on the homepage of the website. Okay, now Elias is going to come up and tell you about his class that starts the first week in May.
Good morning. My name's Elias Owens, and I'm a practitioner here at the center, and I'm very excited to be teaching a class called The Art and Science of Spiritual Mind Treatment. First time it will be taught here at the center. And spiritual mind treatment is the 5-step method of affirmative prayer that we use here at the center. It's those beautiful prayers you hear from the stage and from the practitioners and after-service prayer. And what we'll do in this class is we'll do a thorough exploration in 8 weeks' time, a thorough explanation of the 5 steps of treatment, the purpose, the spiritual principles, and the structure behind those steps, and then how to put it all together. And you'll learn how to make the most effective and powerful spiritual mind treatment for you to start making positive changes in your life. And so even if you're already well-versed in spiritual mind treatment, it's a great way to deepen and enrich the spiritual prayer practice that you already have. Now, that class starts on Tuesdays, May 2nd, from 6:30 to 8:30, and that will be on Zoom. And if you would like more information about the class, I will be in the social hall by the information table after service, and I'd be glad to help you with questions and how to register for class. Thank you.
Thank you, Elias, and thank you, Nancy. That is an exciting class, and the textbook for the class is really a very good supplement. I think I'm so excited about that class, I want to sign up myself if I weren't teaching. So, time for us to close our service. If there is something that is incomplete in you or you cried yourself to sleep last night, please don't go home alone. Or perhaps you have just something you'd like to celebrate and have more of in your life. Go to the back corner there, and the host there will connect you with a practitioner who is available for in-person, one-on-one prayer right after service right now. So, with that in mind, won't you please stand and say, something wonderful is happening through me right now. It is this thing called life. Life is in my mind, life is in my body, and life is in my affairs. I think it, I feel it, and I accept it, just the way that it is, and just the way that it is not. Thank you, life. Know with me that you are never alone, that Spirit is right where you are, that you have only to look within at any moment to know that you are guided, supported, and understood by a presence that expresses itself through you in this world. In deepest gratitude, let us live our lives accordingly so that in everything that we do and say and think, we honor this presence within. And so it is. Thank you for being here. Let us close in song.
I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only